Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Sunday, November 12th. So today we have the moon in Scorpio all day. Of course, we're building towards the new moon in Scorpio that will be taking place here November 13th. This is a very, very unusual, quiet day in the cosmos. It's almost eerie to take a look at. The reason being, there are only 4 different aspects here today. 4. How long has it been since we only had 4 different aspects taking place in a day? I honestly don't know, but it has been a while. Even more than that, all 4 aspects involve the moon. The moon in this Scorpio energy, making a major change, major transformation, major metamorphosis to our soul, to our spirit, to the creative life force energy that is now looking to be expressed in this physical body, this ego avatar. It is definitely a major pressurized energy. We are kind of building towards this new moon green light go ahead that we've been waiting for due to the fact that that is officially closing the door on eclipse season. So the fact that we are gifted with a day prior to this major, major pivotal point in our energy, in our path, in our soul contracts, in our timeline, in our karmic calendar, we're gifted with this, I'm going to call it calm before the storm. It is absolutely wild for me to see 4 different aspects taking place here today, especially seeing as we're in for a wackadoodle day here on Monday, November 13th, where of course we're going to have the new moon in Scorpio. So let's jump into these 4 aspects and the significance of the energy building. Right out of the gate, we have the moon in Scorpio sitting directly across from and opposing Jupiter. Jupiter is retrograde in Taurus energy, really showing us where and how much we have changed in our lives, especially in our soul, in our spirit. The moon in Scorpio energy definitely doing the refinement, doing the changes, doing the restructuring, the redesign in our soul, in our spirit, in our emotional realm. But Jupiter is now shining a bright light on the opportunities that we're now about to pursue, now that we're being gifted with the green light go ahead to actually go ahead, take action, and make moves. Jupiter, again, very optimistic, very confident, very much showing us that the tough love life lessons that we've gone through, the spiritual wisdom and knowledge that we've accumulated because of those particular life lessons now has to be anchored in, integrated in our awareness, in our soul, in our spirit. Why? Because we're going to be put to the test to see if we can walk the walk and talk the talk. We have this beautiful karmic chapter opening up for us where we have to boss up and really take our power and control back, tapping into the creator energy so that we are writing, creating, directing, and starring in our own lives. Many of us have been, I'm going to say, supporting actors in the role that is supposed to be us, the movie that is supposed to be shining on us. And so this is a very interesting dynamic on releasing the power that we've given away to other people and regaining that particular power to now be operating from our whole, full, integrated self. The moon then goes ahead, makes a very awkward interaction with Neptune. Neptune, of course, retrograde in this Pisces energy, helping us to confront our issues, our fears, our doubts, our insecurities, all of the things that are preventing us from aligning with our higher self, downloading that vision and dream, and fully believing that we have what it takes in order to accomplish just that. The moon kind of interacting with Neptune in this way, yes, is going to bring in the spidey senses tenfold. We're very intuitive, we're hypersensitive, but it's also going to create a little bit of confusion. And that confusion is going to push us into the darkness, into the shadow that we're currently sitting in as we're sitting in this dark phase of the moon. And as we're on this darkest day as we anticipate the green light go ahead that will be given to us under the new moon in Scorpio. So this is the confusion. This is the retraction. This is the shadow work that needs to be done. Yes, it'll probably highlight for us a lot of the fears, doubts, and insecurities that we then have the ability to flip the script on to rewrite in such a way so that, of course, we can empower ourselves. We can turn that darkness into light. We can turn that pain into power. Okay, so the moon in Scorpio then goes ahead, makes a positive interaction with Pluto. Pluto rules over the Scorpio energy, ruler of Scorpio season, ruler of the new moon in Scorpio that we are about to have. Scorpio is the great transformer, and he is in this Capricorn energy, giving us one last opportunity to kind of beat down, disassemble, deconstruct the old foundations of our lives, the old structures of who it is that we had to be, what it is that we had to do to survive, where it is that we had to kind of, dim our light in order to fit in and conform with the rest of society. This is the last hurrah, if you will, walking into 2024, where we will see Pluto kind of do this cha-cha-cha back into Aquarian energy and then back into Capricorn energy and then back into Aquarian energy in the fall, where we will set up until 2044. The moon interacting with Pluto in this way is the preview, I'm going to call it, to this empowerment journey. This is like when the phoenix comes out of the pile of ash, but yet hasn't completely launched to the highest point that he is able to fly to. This is a new realization of the phoenix form, of the warrior spirit, of new passions, of new desires, of where the major change and transformation has taken place in our soul, in our spirit, in our mood, in our attitude, in our emotional realm. We're bossing up. We're feeling empowered. We're feeling in control. And that is a beautiful thing. But just as we take this powerful energy and we really feeling good and confident about it, of course, there is the dark force agenda that creeps in and tries to pull us on back. The moon in Scorpio going to make a very unpleasant interaction with Chiron, the wounded healer, who is retrograde in this Aries energy. You want to talk about wounds. You want to talk about pain and trauma. You want to talk about sitting in the excuses that we make up for ourselves just when we are on the precipice of having to do the hard things, which just happen to be the right things to make a major change, a major transformation in our lives. We start to talk ourselves down. We start to pull ourselves back. We start to kind of rip all the scabs off of those wounds to open them up again so that we have an excuse to feel like we have the victimhood mentality. Oh, I can't make that major change. I'm not feeling good enough. I don't feel like I'm confident to do that. I don't have what it takes to do that. This is when the negative narrative is going to come in very, very strong because, again, we're on the precipice of a major change. This is where the darkness tries to pull us back into the old in which we've been working so hard to kind of close the door on. So now that you have this awareness, now that we're being pulled back for the, I'm not going to say last time, but the final time before this new moon in Scorpio pops off, this is going to be us sitting in the shadow of our own pain and trauma, of the collective's pain and trauma, in order for us to realize that, again, Chiron retrograde in this Aries energy is about our identity, who it is that we had to be in survival mode, and who it is that we now want to be because we are leaning more and more into our true, real, raw, authentic selves. This is a clash between the old and the new. This is a clash between the darkness and the light within us. So be cautiously aware that, yes, this is part and parcel of having the breakdown prior to the breakthrough, but this is a necessary deep dive into the shadow realm so that the phoenix can essentially launch himself from the deepest, darkest part of our soul, of our spirit, of our experience, and go all the way up to see new horizons form, new perspectives form as we align with our higher self.